Welcome back to the Northwest Showcase on 93.9 KPDQ. This is Justin Mansfield in for Mary Shepard today. She's out sick, so if you can throw a little prayer in her direction,
That's right.
that would be fantastic. And I'm in studio with Dr. David Day of Day Chiropractic, and we're live in studio. If you want to give us a call, 503-786-9390. If you have any questions of Dr. Day of maybe some symptoms you've had that you think chiropractic care may be able to help with, or maybe if you have something like headaches, I'm
Yes.
sure headaches
One of my
could be
favorite.
caused by a chiropractic issue. So give Dr. Day a call, and or give us a call here in studio, and you can ask him about it, and he may have some ideas. 503-786-9390 is our number here. Also, Dr. Day is running a Valentines special now through the 25th. You can get a full workup by Dr. Day, and that's for a $25 donation, normally worth $250 or more. You give a donation of $25 to Oklahaven Children's Chiropractic Center in Oklahoma City, and Dr. David Day and Day Chiropractic will donate that whole entire service to you, and you just need to call and take advantage of that. 503-760-7572 is the number for Day Chiropractic. 503-760-7572. All right, Dr. Day.
So one of the things that we've been thinking about is this year is going to be our 30th year in practice. So
oh, wow, congratulations.
Thank you. It's quite a milestone, and it's causing some reflection. Let's just put it that way. I've been thinking about, well, why would someone want to call? I mean, a lot of people drive past many other chiropractic clinics, and many of them are doing great work. But why would they come to our office? So I've been doing some work thinking about what makes our practice unique. And so one of the things I want to talk about are pillars of chiropractic. And the show that we did last time in November, we talked about we help each other heal. So if you want to see that, I've videotaped that. In fact, I'll be videotaping today as well. So it'll be kind of fun if you know somebody who wished they would have been listening to the program, they'll be able to do it that way. But so pillar number one is that we help each other heal, and that's the idea of even the very arrangement of our clinic, having it so when you walk in, there's like a chiro cafe. We're trying to encourage people to participate in each other's healings. That you don't just look at it as you come in and you have the doctor do his thing and then you leave, but that you realize, wait a minute, I need to come in and look at the people and interact with people and realize that if I'm sick and alone, like Mary is at home, right? So you start thinking, well, she'll be lonesome, right? Well, what do we want? We want mom to come and bring us chicken soup and tuck us in with the bed and give it, you know what, we want someone to care for us.
Yeah.
And I'm finding a lot of people are living their lives and they don't have anybody to care for them. So not only, I mean, you're paying me to care for you, right? But what if there's somebody who comes in who's also patient, they see that you're hurting, or they sit down and they talk with you, they see you. You go, wait a minute, that's an important part of healing. We're missing it. We have set up our clinics all wrong. We need to make people know that they're loved and cared for. And so that I want to enroll you, we will love you, we will care for you, but we want you to then love and care with us for people in our community. So that will actually help you have a better healing if you take a little more proactive approach. Well, what would pillar number two be then? And I just wrote a blog post, so if you're interested in what I'm going to talk about here, go to daychiropractic.com and go to blog, and you'll see these things. I'm going to lay down these 4 pillars, and there may be more coming, but this is kind of what I thought about and what I'm going to articulate. So today is that we overcome chronic challenges. Now, you mentioned a headache. Something that I've been thinking about in the last, really this last month, there was an article published in Newsday, and it was about a man that many of us have heard, Jim McMahon. He played football for the Bears and won Super Bowl in '85, I think it was. And anyhow, since his retirement, though, he has been suffering from extraordinary headaches. Now, he's had wonderful medical care, and basically they were attributing his headaches to the concussions that he received. In fact, I think he's made arrangements for his brain to be analyzed. You know, he's part of the suit with the NFL and concussions and things like that. So that's really been a big part of his track. Well, he would have to stay sometimes weeks on end, laying in his room in the dark because the headaches were so bad. So if you want, I also found this article by Newsday here, and It was published October 18th of 2014. So if you want this, I have a link in my blog. Okay, so it's quite it's a very conversational article. It ends up talking about and the title says Long Island, it says LI, so it's Long Island doctors help Jim McMahon get his life back, and they can help others too. And as I was reading through this and thinking about that, overcoming chronic conditions, in his case, what it took was a chiropractor to actually look at him with a fresh set of eyes. Now, imagine he has seen the best, right? And it's somewhat presumptuous, but I think, and as we talk about this, Jim is a great example of why you never want to give up, and you often want to stop seeing people who see the world the same way. He was in a niche. He had played football. He had had a lot of hits to his head. He had had a lot of concussions. The assumption by all the neurologists, all the doctors, he was treated like a concussion case. And a lot of people with concussions have headaches, so you are having headaches. Too bad for you. It's just you got hit really hard, and they can this game I got, that sort of thing. That was how the conversation went. Well, there was a chiropractor who said, well, wait a minute here. What if everything's not, well, granted, he's had these concussions. Okay, we can't change that. But what if some of the problems may be coming from injuries to his neck? Now, nobody had given serious thought to that in Jim's case. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You go, wow. But this is true of many people. So if you have gone, and especially what's hard is when patients they've gone to the neurologist, they've gone to these top specialists, maybe they'll have gone to OHSU, or they've gone to really the best places, and there's just no answer for me, or everything they tried, whether it was drugs or maybe surgery was recommended, but usually on these headaches, their surgery isn't recommended. Usually it's pharmaceuticals, it's drugs. But you say, well, I've got these headaches that are post-traumatic, whatever the diagnosis is, and then people get like they feel like there's no hope for them. So what I often have to do is I say, wait a minute, no, we overcome chronic conditions, and we actually embrace people who have these tough things. Because after a while, if you're a patient suffering from a chronic condition, you feel like you're imposing on doctors, and the last thing you want to do is bare your soul again, because they always end up at the same place anyway. Why would I even try? And people stop trying.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things that I want to say today is, at our office, let's start again. Now, what it means is, I have to learn from your experience. So when we take your history, I've got to go back. I've got to ask you questions that nobody thought was important. So don't say, oh, I fell off my bike when I was 13, but as if that doesn't matter, because if it mattered, other people would. Let's assume that if nobody else paid attention to it, it might be significant. So I have to come from a totally different mindset. And it's like, there's no point in me doing more of what everybody else did. I've got to find ideas that nobody else has tried. Right, that sort of thing. Patients don't have that. They're going to doctors hoping that the doctors will come up with new ideas. But what I'm finding is when they go to the doctors, they come up with the same ideas, because they're all kind of trained to this. If you're in this box, then this is the treatment. And now some specialists like neurologists give medications that general practitioners don't usually give for headaches, but they'll give them for headaches, and it makes you scratch your head a little bit sometimes. But it is interesting that it almost always is a different type of medication, or a cocktail of medication, things like that. They're often not getting to the root of the problem. Often patients who have headaches will never have had x-rays of their neck. They will almost, and if they've had good care, they will have had wonderful MRIs, and there might be some things there. Oh, you're getting older, so you're getting, there's all sorts of things that they know about their brain, but they still had the headaches. Right? And so we have to say, wait a minute. And the doctor who helped Jim, what he did is they've come up with a way of looking at an MRI where people can move, and they can actually see how these bones actually move, and they realized there was something wrong with the amount of tension in of the lining around the brain, and its attachment to the upper neck, and because he was subluxated in that upper neck, it was choking that off. Well, I don't have that, but you know what I could do? I can do a flexion extension x-ray. You see? So let's say you were in a car accident several years ago. They didn't see anything, or maybe they didn't take x-rays because they thought you were just bruised or whatever, okay? But you're having a lot of problems still. One of the first things that I will do when I take my x-ray, I realize you were rear-ended at 20 miles an hour and your neck was turned to the right. Wait a minute, we better try to replicate this. Let's actually measure. Take a side x-ray, and then let's bend your head all the way back. Maybe you get dizzy, maybe all sorts of things happen. Well, let's take an x-ray in that position, why don't we? right? Because a lot of times you say, oh my goodness, that's posterior translation at that point. So then we have to say, well, wait a minute, how do we recalibrate that back the way it's supposed to be? And if we can do that and fix your problem, right?
Yeah.
Then you won't have the problems where it will be so much more manageable. I don't think Jim's headaches are completely gone, but they're so much better. He can now live his life, right?
Yeah.
And people realize that there are times if you've had a chronic problem that's just causing all sorts of problems, they're realistic. They understand it. It may be that I'll get maybe 80% better. But quite frankly, when I said, if we can get 80%, would you be happy? They go, Dr. Day, I'd be so thrilled if you get 80% better. They realize they might not be totally better, but let's get as much function as we can so you can have a life again, right? And play with your grandkids, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So-
headaches especially,
Oh my.
severity-wise. I mean,
Yeah, because and there's so many. We could talk about fibromyalgia. We could talk about so many chronic. There are so many people with arthritic issues, and it does get kind of complex. So I don't want to sound like I'm rose-colored glasses and all that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
right? I want to be realistic about this, but part of my job is to bring hope back to a situation where people have given up on themselves and on other doctors.
Yeah.
And so we want to then step into that, and anyhow, so it's exciting. So if you're interested, do check that. It's called We Overcome Chronic Challenges, and that's the second pillar of day chiropractic.
All right, well, we have to take a break here. And don't forget that Dr. Day has a Valentine special going on right now. If you would like to get some chiropractic care, he has a great deal. It's only $25. It's a $25 donation to Oklahaven's Children's Chiropractic Center to help kids in Oklahoma City get better, and they specialize in children's chiropractic, and you can help these kids a lot while Dr. Day is helping you get
Yes.
better. And it's a $250 value, the whole workup that he does, and I can't recommend it much more than I have to say I've been to see Dr. Day, and I can't say anything more than you got to go see him. If you're having a problem, you got to go see him and get checked out and find out what's going on, because you're not going to find it out. You're not going to find a deal like this anywhere else at this point.
Yeah.
So $25, you can give them a call, 503-760-7572. That's 503-760-7572. And we're also live on air right now, 503-786-9390. If you want to call and ask Dr. Day a question, right now is the time to do it. 503-786-9390. We'll be back in just a moment.